All right. All right. I appreciate everybody jumping on our morning call to get our day started right. I just want to make sure that everybody's connected to our schedule and make sure everybody understands what we're doing and where we're at and how we're doing it. This call here is a Monday through Friday call, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and the call really is designed to get our day started right, to get our heads and our hearts working together to go out and do something great. We have this call every single month. This is a Monday through Friday call, no weekends, Monday through Friday call. We also have a Sunday night and a Wednesday night training call. Now, as of last night, I was sitting there looking at the attendees for that last night. There's a lot of folks that are tapped in but not plugged in. And that's what I want to talk about this morning. The difference between being tapped in and plugged in. Tapped in, ladies and gentlemen, is somebody that every now and then gets on and they don't participate. They don't plug their teams into it. They want to plug their teams into themselves. And this is one of the mistakes that I made when I first got involved in this industry. You can tell because I used to refer to it as my team. And my team, and my little team was about 25 people. And it never could grow larger than 25. And the reason why it could never grow bigger than 25 because I impeded my own success. I stopped my group from growing because I wasn't able to take them where I wanted them to go. I wasn't humble enough to get out of the way and plug them into somebody that could take them where they wanted to go. And this is a big mistake that most people make in this industry is because they're standing in their own way. They can't get out of their own way. They have to be the deal. And this is some of the red flags that you'll see. Their people only call them the direct one or two people that they have that are working. They only interface with them. When I say them, they only do calls with them. So their skill sets that the people that they're calling might not be as good as they should be because they might just be getting started. Nothing against them. It's just that where they're at in their careers, that they haven't had a development in this industry to take them where they want to go. Because the person that sponsored it might be just as new, just as green as well. So you have a green person showing a green person as far as skill sets and the tactful skills and the things that you need, the mindset, the things that you need to be successful. They just don't have them right now. They're still developing, and that's okay. But what I did was I had just enough success in corporate America where I wasn't coachable. And I wasn't coachable because I wasn't allowing my group to grow. My group couldn't grow because I was in the way. I was standing right in the way. I wanted to be the center of influence. I wanted to be the person that they all came to, but I couldn't feed them. See, leaders are feeders. Leaders are feeders. If you're not feeding your organization, it can't grow. It's like a baby. If you don't feed it, it's like a baby eats every 2 hours or whatever when it first gets it to the earth and to the world. And there's certain nurturing characteristics that baby needs to succeed, to get off to the right nutritional balance to becoming a young adult or a young child. That's the same way your organization is. So when I look at the attendees from last night's training, it tells me there's people still after the boot camp that are tapped in and not plugged in because they'll do what they'll call their quote-unquote training. And this is where you got to understand that it's not about you personally. It's about how far you can take your organization. And when I learned that, I was able to get out of my own way, work with the top leadership, and plug into what they were doing. And I was able to learn. But while I was learning, my group was growing. Instead of most people, the other way around is they want the information. And what they do is they block off or they kind of quarantine their group. And their group is stagnant while they're learning. It might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take 3 years. Well, while they're learning, their group's falling away. The attrition rate is through the roof because they're not being fed. They're malnutrition. And if someone's not being fed the right the skill sets of belief and the things that they need to be successful, they're going to go away. They're going to go somewhere else where they're being fed. That's the same way like a stray animal is. They're going to go where they're being fed. They're going to create an environment that's going to feed them. And that's the same way our organizations are. So as a leader, you got to understand the big picture. You got to understand the big vision of where we're going as an organization. And the only way that's going to happen is you have to get out of your way. You have to understand to not be tapped in, but to plug in. And Wednesday night and Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern, we have training calls. Now, last night I got a lot of feedback. There was a lot of great feedback from last night's broadcast training, but there was a lot of people that were in the quote-unquote leadership that weren't on it, and their teams weren't on it. So what that tells me is that they're taking the information themselves and trying to disseminate the information themselves instead of really plugging it into the source of the energy. It's like if you go to a power plant, you're going to get the most power close to that plant. And that's the same way this business is and any other businesses. You want to be closest to the information to get it at the same time. Why would I want to take a little bit of the information and try to disseminate it down where I can bring everybody to the source of the information and let them get it at the same time I get it? So now I got more belief, more passion, more energy. I got more people getting the information they need to duplicate faster down through my organization. And this is the maturation period. And it was one of the hardest things for me to do is my mentor told me, he said, Cedric, do you want to be right or do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be the center of influence or do you want to be wealthy? And it took me some time to understand that it wasn't about me, it was about my organization. See, when we enroll somebody in our business, it's a responsibility for us to give them what they need to be successful. And most people in the industry, when they first get started, don't know what it takes to give a group, to feed a group. But we think that our skill sets that we brought over from corporate America or whatever business that we were in allows us to be able to feed people when it really doesn't. Those skill sets are specifically for that occupation. It's not for this industry. Most of the skills in this industry are learned skills that you can learn from doing it over and over again. Now, there's some things that you can bring over into this industry: your work ethic, your integrity, your passion, your ability to communicate with people. Those are things that can map over. But most skills that are in your technical background or your professional background will not map over into this industry. And what most people do is that have some success in their life, they believe that those skills will map over, and they don't. And that was some of the biggest mistake that I did. I squandered a year of my career trying to be the deal. Don't be the deal. Be a part of the deal. Don't be the deal. Be a part of the deal. And once I understood that, I said, okay, now my business starts growing. And this is how you can tell if your group, this is happening in your group. Your group will go to 25, 30 people, and then it'll implode. And then it'll go to 40 or 50 people, and then it'll implode. It'll fall apart. And then you say, well, I can't get no duplication. I can't get this. I can't get that. The reason why you're not getting it is something is stopping people from being fed. That's why you want to make sure that there's relationships. You have relationships, and you connect those individuals in your team to those individuals. This is what I believe. Every instant pay that your teammate gets, that keeps a person in the business another week. Every instant pay keeps them in a week. So we get 1 or 2 a day, and that's going to keep a person in 2 or 3 weeks. You get 3 or 4, 5, 6, every 6, 7, 8 days in a row. The longer that person is being fed, the longer they're going to stay. And that's the way human nature is. So the best way to be a great pinnacle leader is to understand how to play team, how to understand the difference between being tapped in and plugged in. Now, there's some people that I know every single morning when we get on these calls, they're plugged in, and their teams are plugged in. It's not just them, it's their teams. Because I picked up the phone yesterday, and a lady called me. She didn't even know about the Wednesday night or Sunday night training. How could somebody in our organization, in this company, based in the U.S., not know that Wednesday night at 10 o'clock Eastern and Sunday night at 10 o'clock Eastern, that there's a team training? What that tells me is their leadership has not made it a point to plug those people in. And then what I found out is later that night, they had their quote-unquote training for their team. But that team is not growing. The reason why they're not growing is their team's not being fed. And be great leaders. Great leaders understand their role, and they play the role. And that's what I want to make sure we got across this morning on this call, because everybody on this call wants to win. Everybody on this call got involved in business to become successful, to have financial freedom. And the only way that's going to happen is you're going to have people around you that get it with you. Not for you, but they get it with you. See, it's not about where we want to go. It's about where our teams want to go. And us making sure as leaders, we're giving them everything that they need to be successful. That's what great leaders do. We remove obstacles. We compress success. We connect people to the right individuals to get what they need to get so we all can win. That's great leadership. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's about we. We all go. We all go. And it's critical that moving forward, that everybody has to be plugged in. And I had a lady the other day, and we were sitting there with Graham Blue Diamond, Ron Wright, and Alex, and Patricia, and some other individuals on our team. And I was doing a three-way call, and the lady said, "What's the catch?" Well, the catch is that you catch the vision. That's the catch. Will you catch the vision? And that's the same way leadership has to catch the vision. Have you caught the true culture and the vision of where we're going as an organization? Have you truly caught it? Because if you caught it, you'd be plugged in instead of tapped in. Your groups would know about every call. They would be on the call. You'd be promoting the calls. The noon and the 9 o'clock Eastern, noon daily and 9 p.m. broadcast. There's people that I don't see on there. I'm not going to call you out, but you're quote unquote want to go to Diamond, but you're not on there, and none of your team's on there. None of your team's on the noon or 9 p.m. broadcast. So how can you be building in a team culture if you're not a part of the team? You can't do this business by yourself. I don't care who you are, what walk of life. It doesn't work that way. It's all about building teams. It's about building synergy. It's about working together. It's about having each other's back to back, belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball. When you have that type of energy, we're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We have a lot of incredible momentum right now. We have some incredible momentum. And it's going to be key that everybody on this call, as leadership, continues down the path of prosperity together. We have to continue to do the things that are conducive to all of us winning. And the only way that's going to happen is being plugged in and not tapped in. Let's plug in, everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing today at 12 at noon Eastern and 9 p.m. on the broadcast who is going to be plugged in and whose teams are going to be plugged in. So I'm excited about what's happening around the country, around the world. You know, great things are happening. I'm telling you right now, this company is in a mode of going vertical momentum right now. The people that are hearing my voice this morning on this call, we have an incredible opportunity to put our families in a position to win and go down in history with this company called Top Fusion. So enjoy the balance of your day. I'm available, three-way calls. We have a lot of momentum, a lot of great things going on, a lot of people sponsoring, a lot of activity. See, the phones will tell you exactly what's happening in your group. If your phone's ringing, your income's going to ring. If your phone's quiet, your income will be quiet. We've got to continue the momentum. Great job. I see a lot of people taking action, and that's exactly what this is all about. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I look forward to hearing from you today on some three-way calls. Let's bust out the box today at the 12 noon and 9 p.m. broadcast. Let's build big for it. Let's get a lot of guests on. Let's have some fun. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the balance of your day.